See, Surrey BC has some terrible communities, areas that you absolutely want to avoid at all costs. Being the 11th largest municipality in all of Canada, Surrey tends to get painted with the same brush. And if you're an avid watcher of our channel, we produce a ton of content all about the city of Surrey on our Living in Surrey playlist. And we talk about all of the great things that Surrey has to offer anybody that's looking to relocate here. It's all good, nothing can go wrong, and you cannot go wrong by buying a home anywhere in Surrey. Well, the problem is that's just simply not true. Like almost every municipality across the entire world, Surrey has its areas that I would never let my own family live in, and if I was someone moving to the area, I would avoid at all costs. This is not your type of video where there's some sort of fluffy feel-good message at the end. We're gonna get right into it. And selling real estate since 2007, being in thousands and thousands of homes through every nook and cranny throughout the entire city of Surrey, I'm gonna show you exactly the areas that I would avoid and encourage my clients to avoid as well. I'm gonna make you a deal. If you give me the next few minutes of your time, you're gonna be much more educated about the worst places in Surrey to spend your money if you're looking to buy a home. Plus, you're gonna wanna hang around to the end because I'm gonna let you know how you can get your hands on a hot little number of a $350 product for absolutely free. So if that sounds good, let's get into it. Hey, it's Darren here. If you're thinking of moving to Surrey, White Rock, or any of the surrounding suburbs, subscribe below so you can be the first to learn about the market and the areas. And like so many others, we've helped in the process of buying or selling a home. If you need help in the process, whether it's today or 6 months from now, use the link in the description to book a time to speak with me. We'll help you make sure that your move is the absolute best that it could ever be. There's no doubt moving to a new city is intimidating. You don't know what you don't know. You maybe haven't visited here before, or maybe you don't have any friends or family that live in the area. So you're going through this relocation or this move to Surrey completely blind. The problem here too is buying real estate, it's really expensive. It's not something you can just easily recoil or reverse where you just get your money back if you make the wrong decision. You've only got one chance to get it right, and there's so much at stake, not only financially, but also the neighborhood that you put yourself and your family in. Now, the 3 neighborhoods that I'm going to share with you in this video, it doesn't mean that every piece of those neighborhoods is completely bad, but generally speaking, they tend to have reputations for various reasons, and I'm going to share some of that information with you so you can make an educated decision about which areas you might choose to call home if you do choose to relocate to the city of Surrey. So let's jump into it. Coming in at number 3 on our list is the East Newton neighborhood, basically central in the entire city of Surrey. So why is East Newton making our list on the worst places to live in Surrey? Number 1, it's incredibly highly populated, with almost about 1/3 of Surrey residents calling Newton area general home. It also tends to be an area where property prices are quite low. In fact, they're about $80,000 lower than the average of the city of Surrey combined just to get a detached home. This area is remembered for being a relatively seedy area that was really built out and developed around the King George Boulevard neighborhood, a highway where even to this day, while you drive down, you will still see really industrial or commercial type properties with just a ton of space for transients to kind of hide out. It's had some incredibly notable crime incidents over the years as well, but the good news is the RCMP has done a good job of making their presence more felt in this neighborhood to help the residents feel a little bit safer. According to the website Area Vibes, the crime rates in the East Newton area are slightly higher than the average of Surrey per 100,000 people. And to wrap it up, there's going to be a lot of construction and development coming to this area, so you're going to need to be prepared to live in an absolute construction zone. With the future rapid bus line coming from the North Surrey SkyTrain down through the King George Boulevard area, this means development in the hub of East Newton is going to absolutely explode in around the 72nd and King George Boulevard neighborhood. In the core areas, you're going to find 21 to 25 story concrete high-rises, of which there is none in the neighborhood as of yet. This means there is lots to come. And outside of that core area, you've got transition areas, which are going to be anywhere between 4 to 20 stories. It is going to be construction galore, and the population is going to absolutely explode in the coming years. Let's continue on with our list of the worst areas to live. Now, we've already covered the East Newton neighborhood, and we're on to number 2 on our list. And number 2 on our list, well, that's the Queen Mary Park area. So why the Queen Mary Park area? Well, this whole list, there's no gold medal given out for a worst neighborhood in Surrey. Of course, a lot of this is coming just from anecdotal experience and being in thousands and thousands of homes throughout our community since 2007, working as a real estate professional in the area. The Queen Area Park area of Surrey reminds me of a city, and it's some sort of city where it's almost like community planning never existed. What do I mean by that? Well, you're gonna see huge, monstrous homes that do not fit the character of the neighborhood besides small little modest properties, and there's just zero congruency in the neighborhood. And I find that the people of this neighborhood, and I don't want to paint everyone with the same brush, but I find that they just really don't take that good care of their properties, especially on the exteriors. One of the reasons these communities look so just mishmashed is because of something called a land use contract that was really prevalent in the city of Surrey. In 1972, the province adopted legislation to allow municipalities to enter into agreements with landowners and developers to address the various aspects of land development. These land use contracts basically allowed people to do whatever they wanted on their properties, and we saw some monstrosities getting built that were way out of character for the existing neighborhoods. Now, this has changed a little bit. Listen to this. On May 29, 2014, the province adopted legislation to terminate the land use contracts by no later than June 30th, 2024. So that means no longer can you build these monstrous, ugly homes completely out of character with the neighborhood, but that doesn't do anything for the ones that were already built during these times since the land use contracts were introduced. The Queen Mary Park area is also primarily an industrial area, and you've kind of filled in the gaps with these residential developments in between where the existing industrial areas were. Naturally, this doesn't make for the prettiest of communities, and this might be one of the reasons why. According to the Fraser Valley Home Price Index, detached homes in this neighborhood go for about $240,000 below the city of Surrey average. Because you've got industrial and you've got a ton of residential filling in the gaps, that means the traffic in this area is horrible and the roadways were just not built to handle all of the influx of people that need to get to and from either work or to their homes. These once quiet streets, single lane traffic in and out of the area makes for an absolute mess at rush hour. One final thing I will add about the Queen Mary Park area is that it's not overly diverse. A 2011 Vancouver Sun article stated that about 1 in 10 people in Metro Vancouver were of South Asian descent. However, near the Guru Nanak Temple, located at 70th Avenue and the Scott Road border between Surrey and North Delta, the neighborhood surrounding the temple is 77% South Asian. Environomics Analytics took this a little bit further with some more modern day data. When typing in the postal code for the Queen Mary Park area into their data analysis program, it shows that this area is home to the largest concentration of South Asian residents. South Asian society consists of first and second generation Sikh, Hindu, and Muslim families. More than 80% identify as visible minorities, and nearly half of them speak a non-official language, mostly Punjabi. So if you're looking for a community that is a little more diverse, a little more balanced, this might not be the area for you, and naturally one that you want to avoid. This takes us to number 1 on our list, the absolute granddaddy of neighborhoods that I want you to avoid if you're considering relocating to the municipality of Surrey in British Columbia. And that neighborhood is called Bridgeview. Bridgeview's got a pretty rough history, and I'm not going to give you a history lesson in this video today, but some of its reputation has certainly carried forward in the coming generations. Number 1, you probably wouldn't want to buy a home in this area anyway, because it is considered to be on a floodplain, and this area has flooded before. Once in 1894 and again in 1948, and it was pretty bad. In fact, the city of Surrey identifies this area as one of the major flood risks for the city in its online mapping system. Side note, those major floods were about 50 years apart, and 1948, 2024, we're over 70 years away. Maybe that area is overdue for another one. Who knows? Hopefully not. Because this area is in a floodplain, if you drive down most neighborhoods in the Bridgeview area, unless you're looking at brand new properties, you will notice many of the homes don't look completely even because the ground in that area has been sinking. It's not uncommon to see wavy roof lines or portions of homes that look like they either weren't built correctly or they're just simply sitting lower in the ground than other areas of the home. Because of this, this neighborhood has a whopping price difference differential than that of the combined area of Surrey when it comes to pricing for detached homes, coming in at $670,000 below the average price for the city of Surrey. That is wild to think of the discrepancy in prices, but there's more about this area that you need to know. The walkability in this neighborhood, it's not great. And if you are gonna walk to stuff, it's not typically the types of things you probably want to be walking to. It's really just a lot of car lots and fast food joints. But one of the other reasons you probably wouldn't want to walk there is just the overall aesthetics of the neighborhood and the type of feeling that you get when you're in there. Let me explain. You're going to drive down these residential streets, and not every property, but many properties in the neighborhood, you're going to see really derelict houses. You're going to see properties and front yards full of absolute junk. This could be one of the big reasons for the discrepancies in price, along with being in the floodplain. However, you're also going to get that sense that it's probably not a community that you're going to feel overly comfortable walking around in, let's say in the evening time. Now, I don't have actual statistics that are showing me whether Bridgeview area crime is higher than other areas of the city of Surrey, but I don't think you're going to need that, because when you drive through this neighborhood, you're going to recognize fairly quickly that is just a much rougher neighborhood than the majority of the other areas in the city of Surrey. And the last piece that I will add about the Bridgeview neighborhood is just how bad the traffic is. Because you're really segregated by the Fraser River and King George Boulevard, there's no really other way to get out of this area. To make matters worse, you are on one of the entranceways to the Patello Bridge. Now, there is a new Patello Bridge currently being built that's estimated to be completed in the year 2025. This is a new 4-lane bridge coming in at about $1.37 billion that is being invested to improve the current infrastructure in the area. However, with that being said, you still have all of the traffic that is trying to travel over the river into the new Westminster area accessing this bridge, both the existing bridge and when the new one comes into play, making it very difficult to travel around town because of the backups and congestions related to the traffic. So there you have it. Those are the top 3 worst areas in Surrey that I encourage you to avoid if you're new to the area and relocating here and you just really don't know where you're going. Now, before I remind you to subscribe to the channel, so make sure you get updates on everything going on with White Rock, British Columbia real estate, Surrey, British Columbia real estate, and anything happening in the wild, crazy world of British Columbia real estate, I want to ask you, if you're a local that lives in the neighborhood, did I nail it? Did I get the top 3 areas right? And what are your thoughts? And certainly I didn't mean to offend anybody that might live in these areas, but this is what my clients have experienced and have reported back to me based on touring homes in these neighborhoods in the past. If you're someone from outside of the area, lean on our community to ask questions in the comments below and let us know what you need to know about the city of Surrey so we can help make you successful. Now, I promise you at the beginning of this video a little bit of a treat, a $350 bonus that I was going to give you for absolutely free. Well, that's no other than our BC Home Buyers course. Over 3 hours of packed video training, questionnaires, and downloads to help you buy a home, your first home in British Columbia, like an absolute pro. You will avoid all of the pitfalls that catches so many home buyers in our current market environment. And this whole course is being offered as a promotion, not only for a very limited time, but we're only giving away 20 free subscriptions. So you don't want to miss your opportunity to get into this course, and you can find access to it in the description in this video below. Hey, thanks for sticking with me through this video. I hope you learned something about the city of Surrey today, and we'll definitely look forward to seeing you on the next video because you subscribed, right? That's right. We'll see you soon. Cheers.